And now to that question about Americans getting a second stimulus check. If there is one, we might know when.
The clock's ticking for a decision on another stimulus bill, and it will only happen when Congress is in session. I'm Tiffany Craig. So the House has already passed the HEROES Act, which includes another round of checks, up to $6,000 per household. So the stimulus ball, if you will, is in the Senate's court. Senators are in recess until July 20th, so CNET looked at some other possible dates. When the Senate's back, they'll have 3 weeks to work on a stimulus bill. If it's a go, checks could go out at the end of August. If that doesn't work, there's another session in September, but that would mean no check until October. You get the idea. One more thing that CNET points out is that if there is more stimulus money being sent out, the IRS already has a system in place to process payments faster.